The Lord said then to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous into this generation." No, 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 no. Chapter 8. But God remembered, but God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark. And he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150th day, the water had gone down, and on the 17th day of the seventh month, the ark came to rest on the mountain of Ararat. The waters continued to receded until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. After 40 days, Noah opened a window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven, but it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground. But the dove could find nowhere to perch because there was water over all the surface of the earth. So it returned to Noah in the ark. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there in his beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again. But this time it did not return to him. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah had removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animal, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number on it." So Noah came out together with his son and his wife, and his son's wife, all the animals and all the creatures that move along the ground, and all the birds, everything that move on land, come out of the ark, one kind after another. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and taking some of all the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offerings on it. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said to his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." Chapter 9. God's covenant with Noah. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on the beasts of the earth, and all and and on all the birds in the sky, and every creatures that move along the earth, and all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands. Everything that live and move about will be food for you. Just as I give you the green plants, I now give you everything. But you must not eat meat that has its life blood still in it, and for your lifeblood I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal and from each human being. 2. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being. Whoever shed human's blood, by human shall their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number, multiply on the earth and increase upon it. Then God said to Noah and to his son with him, I now establish my covenant with you and with you descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that come out of the ark with you, every living creatures on earth, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of the flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the sign of a covenant I am making between me and you and every living creatures with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the cloud, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it in. Remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind of the earth. So God said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant I have established between me and all life on the earth. The sons of Noah. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the three sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered over the whole earth. Noah, a man of soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of his wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backwards and covered their father's naked body. Their faces their faces were turned the other way so they would not see their father naked. Him when Noah awakened from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, Cursed, cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slave will be to his brothers. He also said, Praise to the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend Jeph, Japheth's territory. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Jeph, Japhet. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. Noah lived a total of 950 years, and then he died. The Table of Nations, chapter 10. This is the account of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's son, who themselves had sons after the flood, the Japhethis. The sons of Japheth, Gomar, Magog, Medai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomar, Ashkenaz, Riphan, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Est- Elishab, Tarshish, the Kittites, and the Ronides. From these the Martinim people spread out into their territories by their clans within their nation, each with its own language. The Hamites, the sons of Ham, Cus, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush: Seba, Havilah, Sab- Sabtat, Ramat, and Sabteka, Shebes, and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. That is why it said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The first centers of his kingdom were Babylon, Uruk, Akkad, and Calnan in Shinar. From that land he went to Asherah, where he built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Irkela, and Resen, which is between Nineveh and Kelat, which is the great city. Egypt was the father of Luditis, Anamitis, Lehabits, Nebuchadnezzar, Pascal, Casilites, from whom the Philistines came, in the Captorites. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn, his firstborn, and of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Archites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamates. Later, the Can later the Canaanite clans scattered, and the border of Canaan reached from Sidon towards Gera as far as Gaza, and then towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Adam, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham by their clans and language, in their territories and nation. The Semites' sons were also born to Shem, whose older brother was Japhet. Shem was the ancestor of all the sons of Eber. The sons of Shem: Elam, Ashurah, Arpex, and Lud, Aram. The sons of Aram: Uz, Hul, Gether, and Meshech. Arphaxad was the father of Sheled, and Sheled was the father of Eber. Two sons were born to Eber. One was named Peleg, because in his time the earth was divided. His brother was named Joktan. Joktan was the father of Elmadad, Sheleb, Hazarmer, Jerat, Hadoram, Uzel, Dilak, Obal, Obimes, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were sons of Joktan. The regions where they lived scattered from Mesha to towards Sephard in the eastern hill country. These are the sons of Shem by their clans and language, in their territories and nations. These are the clans of Noah's son, according to their lines of descent. Within their nations, from these the nations spread out over the earth after the flood. The Tower of Babel. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastwards, they found a plain in Shepnard and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone, and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one if as one people speaking the same language they had begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." Soon the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because There the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth, from Shem to Abram. This is the account of Shem's family line. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Aprahex, and after he became the father of Aprahex, Shem lived 500 years and had over sons 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Abraham had lived 335 years, he became the father of Shelah, and after he became the father of Shelah, Abraham lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber, and after he became the father of Eber, a hundred Shelah lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg, and after he became the father of Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu, and after he became the father of Reu, Peleg lived 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he became the father of Serug, and after he became the father of Serug, Reu lived 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nahor, and after he became the father of Nahor, Serug lived 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When had lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah, and after he became the father of Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After it had lived 70 years, he became the fathers of Abram, Nahor, and Haran, Abram's family. This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran, and Haran became the father of Lot. Oh, Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot, Lot, Lot. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, in the land of his birth. Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of her wife was Mil- Mil- Milcot. She was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcot and Iscot. Now Sarai was childless because she was not able to conceive. Terah took his son Abraham, his grandson Lot, son of Hera, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaled, no, Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. The call of Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curse you I will curse, and all people on earth will be blessed through you. So Abram went as the Lord that had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions he had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Abram traveled through the land as far as the sight of the great tree of Morat at Shittim, at the point of Canities, where in the land the Lord appreciated to Abram and said, to your offering I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he went on towards the hill east of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram set out and continues towards Negev. Abram in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the farming no the famine was severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Say you are my sister. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. When Abram became to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was a beautiful woman, and when Parat's officials saw her, they praised her to Parat, and she was taken into his palace. He treated Abram well for her sake, and Abram acquired sheep and cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camel. But the Lord inflicted serious disease on Piram and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. So Piram summoned Abram. What have you done to me? He said. Why did you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, here is your wife, take her and go. Then Parrot gave orders about Abram to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had. Abram and Lot separate. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. From the Negev he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where were where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There Abram called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds of tents, but the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together, and quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. So Abram said to Lot, let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. It is not the whole land before you. Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan towards Zor was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out towards the east. The two men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived along the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. So now the people of Sodom were wicked and were singing greatly against the Lord. The Lord said, the Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him. Look around from where you are to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land all the land that you see I will give to you and your offer of offsprings forever. I will make you I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring would could be counted. Go, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. So Abram went to live near the great trees of Mamre of Hebron, where he pitched his tents. There he built an altar to the Lord. Abram rescued Lot. At the time when Amraphel was king of Shinir, Eric king of Elazar, Kenderliner, king of Elam, and Tidai, king of Goyim. These kings went to war against Bera, king of Sodom, Berish, king of Gomorrah, Shinnab, king of Adam, Admat, oh my goodness, Shimron, king of Zeboyim, and the king of Bela. This is Zor. All these later kings joined forces in the valley of Sidin. This is the Dead Sea Valley. This is the Dead Sea Valley. For 12 years they had been subjected to Kedorlaomer, but in this 13th year they rebel. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer and the kings allied went went out and defeated the Repeltes in Ashturn, Karnine, the Zootes in Ham, and Emites in Shaven, Kiriatim in the Horstes, in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Param near the desert. Then they turned back and went to En Mishap, that is Kadesh, Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites as well as the Amorites who were living in Hazezon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Abmat, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor, marched out and drew out their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Ger Kemorlamor, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyin, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Orich, king of Elazar. 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Sidon was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell onto them. Some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled into the hills. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions. Since he was living in Sodom, a man who had escaped came and reported this to Abram in Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the great trees of Mamre, the Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Ener, all of whom were allied to Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people. After Abram returned from defeating King Kedorlaomer and the king allied with him. The king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shevet, that is the king of valley. Then Melchizedek, the king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was praised, priest of God Most High. And he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creators of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. The king of Sodom said to Abram, give me the people and keep the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, with raised hands I have sworn an oath to the Lord God Most High, creators, creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing blessed belonging to you, not even a thread of the strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, I made Abram rich. I will accept nothing but I will I will accept nothing but what my men I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten in the share that belongs to the men who went with me to Aner, Eshcol, and Memir. Let them have their share. That's it. Peace.